Welcome everyone to another. Have you tried Haiku OS, the BeOS clone, and compiling software for it? Yes, I've tried it. Previous video problems on my channel, but it was some years and the last time 8 years or so ago, and certainly a lot has changed. By the way, it instantly comes up in Qemu in graphic mode in seconds. Is that not the future? As no, and another episode of probably more BSD distributions, Linux distributions, and certainly the Linux Foundation should actually take a look, take a break on the weekend, share, like, subscribe, watch our channel, and try other OSs to get a better overview how much better Linux could be if people would not fork the 2012's RPM-based Red Hat fork, but actually work on something amazing. So let's see how this is going. Let's see if we can try some software. So let's install. It is a live thing, and the installer mostly copies that, but we want to build some software. So no partition table has been found. Install from Haiku 1.37 gigabyte onto setup partitions, I guess. So their naming is dev disks. This is a little bit like the old devfs name that very few people of you probably used. Before there was udev, there was devfs, before there were static device nodes. A little bit verbose, I don't mind that particularly, so /dev/disks. ATA 0 actually, in contrast to WA and AT, whatever BSD names, it's actually quite reasonable. A little bit long, but reasonable. So B file system, oh wait, this is the Atapi CD-ROM. So that, let's see, how does it partition, format, mount, this is a little bit, initialize probably Intel. So we're booting, yes, right changes. It could be a little bit cooler, so it's a little Mac OS way, right? Actually, what really annoys me, I actually purchased BeOS, I don't know, for 199 Deutschmark or so in 1998 or so, and I don't find this box anymore. So it's just like, sure, I could go to eBay. I searched my parents' house already 2 times, but I guess someone somewhere must have been recycled that. Really, really a pity. Wish I had this book still. Create B file system. So this stuff is supported, maybe, potentially, at least it's there in the list. Maybe active, who knows? Let's see what happens. Are you sure you want to write? Yes, right. And yeah, certainly our T2 installer is not as amazing. Little bit nitpicking here and there. Maybe what could be, I mean, this is one of the better than most Linux distributions, certainly ours, because ours is text-based, but hey, ours you can install an SG Octane. But one-click initialization would probably be cool, like install on there, not initialize, yes, format like recommended. Even T2 has something sort of like that. Actually interesting, they list the block size directly in the block and physical block size. Did we not like initialize it? Did we not? Wait, now I'm confused. Did I not? Not sure. Did I not have done that? Enable query support, whatever that is. Maybe it wasn't formatted then. Okay, where is close? Was this close or the other? Change target Haiku. Let's hope they only need one partition. Was it all? Show optional packages. Okay, they have quite some stuff here. So autoconf, setlib devil and stuff. So they also have underscore devil. I personally would prefer dash devil, but maybe they have some automated provisioning there that automatically separates them. It's like, yeah, iPhone does Debian deb stuff, not use devil, not sure what's the RPM. So the RPM distribution is also split it like that. I probably should know, but are we, by the way, installing already? Did this installation really was that fast? Why do we? Oh no, it says installation completed. Boot sector has been written. Press restart. Okay, that was pretty instantaneous, I have to say. That was so instantaneous. I'm not really sure why you can still see this here, though. I mean, the help is there. That is a little bit, I mean, it's space efficient, but I wouldn't call this some pinnacle of UI design or usability design. I would rather, I mean, maybe like an old-fashioned yellow tooltip, or the information below this is a little bit counterintuitive, but let's see. And welcome everyone. Comments there, loved BeOS. Yeah, BeOS was pretty cool. Why did I not even use it more? But back in the day I had the V90 modem, right? So probably installing software, everything V90 modem. I mean, so that is certainly, I mean, truth be told, this is why I always say, hey, BeOS, Haiku, it's pretty amazing, right? Installation, graphical, flawless, boot, instantaneous, reboot. It's like, that is honestly how a Linux distribution kind of sort of, except text mode for serial console and stuff, but yeah, pretty cool. That's basically, it's like 1 hour fighting with Xorg on Dragonfly BSD and package source installation, and it's like 7 minutes and video is done. So let's try it out. It's been some time since I used it. What you're saying, disagree, a lot of Trapexit says, no, a lot of people disagree, but still think if an OS project had tried to recreate on Linux as a complete desktop, it still have it today. I mean, yeah, I understand the point of reusing all the drivers and infrastructure, but having an alternative kernel permission also has its benefits, right? Because again, there are already 2011 Linux distributions, so yeah. Here all the apps, right? The stuff is otherwise like graphical and also like much more consistent, right? Also like, hey, this is, no other system was so snappy. This is, sure, it's running on a Ryzen 7550X, but hey, this is over VNC and also with garbage IDE. I should check if they have actually virt.io. It's like, it's even snappy over VNC. It's like, yeah. And I have not even tried virt.io GPU. This is standard Cyrus, whatever, probably. So here's all the stuff. So here's browsing the file system, right? System add-ons, apps are here. Even BPDF installer for some reason, but maybe that is also handling other stuff. Mail, media player. It's like, yeah, all an operating system should have and should be, right? So let's see if we can compile something, because that was the point of the video. It's like new folder, if you new folder, test, right? Amazing. So probably maybe I should make it my primary desktop OS. Or fork it or contribute. But yeah, also it's microkernelish. What do they advertise? Haiku OS Wikipedia. I'm always skeptical. Also with Dragonfly, I think their hybrid stuff is only skin deep. But correct me below and stuff. Yeah, kernel type hybrid. It's, yeah, like maybe a little bit user space or who knows what. So terminal, also where was CPU load? Was it here? Here processors. Also yeah, we are running with 8 processors and 8 gigs of memory. I can probably also you can disable the processes here, right, if you want it for some multitasking fun. Power savings, what does that do? Whatever, nothing. Maybe on a real system. Also, yeah, on Linux you have top, on BeOS you have, on Haiku you have integrated UI stuff. Yeah. And the future was 20 years ago, right? Yeah, and the Dragonfly people still try to get the installer working. Anyway, where is the terminal? I would be interested to know. The only thing is the navigation is a little bit. The major criticism would be that this all menus in one thing might not be the most usable thing, because here you have, I'm not even sure is that, because here is Haiku. Yeah, this is not the file system root, I believe. That is probably the file system root. We'll see this. It's probably some hybrid UI thing, because it has here home, system and trash. So it's a little bit duplicated. So the major criticism would be like system there, a little bit many menus here potentially, but that is certainly a very small algorithm. Actually, here's also desktop. So actually, right. So maybe that is. Okay, so that is showing here on desktop because it's here on the desktop. So that makes somewhat sense. So maybe, yeah, whatever. We don't make experiments now. So where's our? So was our tracker? That is Windows. About Haiku, right? Here's also applications and demos. The original BeOS I've seen this. I probably have seen this on a CeBIT, like CeBIT computer trade show previously, largest in the world and stuff. Around 1996, 1997, I remember I was there, and they showed probably on a Pentium, either a SMP486. No, they barely existed, right? So probably a Pentium or PowerPC, maybe PowerPC. Their book demo, right? They probably, maybe they don't have it, but the original BeOS had a book demo where this was a little bit like later iOS, and there was a book, and the window was, you could drag and drop. I mean, it was a gimmick, right? But you could drag and drop any window, including this GLT pod demo. Or maybe it wasn't the B-box. Potentially it wasn't the B-box. And so that is, of course, yeah, this one here. This one's, I believe it was like this. Also here it is Haiku, and there's something like this, and then they drop there is a GLT put on the book pages, and suddenly it's quite computationally expensive to transform your rectangular window onto the book page with quite some transforms. So certainly quite some, like at least a dozen of triangles and stuff and textured. So that is certainly, hey, AMD Qemu certainly was extremely impressive back in the day, and why I probably went then and spent 199 Deutschmark on BeOS personal editions that I lost. So yeah, but last but not least, by the way, do they patch pairs, overlay image, whatnot? Yeah, here's a GLT put though. Yeah, that is running too fast. There is nothing to see. That is not the future. Stay on your 1200, 2011 Linux version. This is top secret, right? This is you not. It's not for you to use. So. Also, if you find this impressive, probably shall I subscribe and give it a try. So the terminal is what we're here for. Can we also resize that? Also, of course, tabs, right? The future is obviously now. And then can we, hey, font size, make it huge for YouTube. And then can we also make it black. By the way, did I make a post already on my community polls? Because I really hate black on white terminals. Leave me in the comments below, man. Can you work with inverted terminals? Where the heck is... Do we have context? Any context? By the way, do we have some... Oh, we have... Hey, copy and paste like it's a Unix system. Amazing. There is... here settings. Here are colors. Color scheme. What is blue doing for us? Okay, that looks like Turbo Pascal. What is, okay, midnight is already, what is solarized dark? It's a little bit low contrast, but okay, relax we go. Defaults, is it, oh wait, shit, this was not what I expected. I thought I wanted to save it. But maybe you only need to click it first and then maybe it saves that already. Did I change the font size to large? Anyway, so can we actually compile? The point of the video, can we freaking compile software? Also, by the way, which, okay, PSX is, okay, that is not traditional Unix compatible, but at least we have some processes. Do we have Git? Hey, we have Git. Do we have Subversion? Okay, we don't have Subversion, fair enough. Do we have rsync? We don't have rsync. Do we have Secure Shell? Hey, we have Secure Shell, but we don't have rsync. Tar. What is with SED? It's GNU SED. What's with, do they have GNU org or org? They have some org. That is morg. That is a new org. Do we have, I mean, find probably, I mean, ls we had, right? Also, yeah, we could check, so ls-l keyboard layout. -l. So, okay, they have quite some symlinks, so that means, I mean, this is kind of how I probably would do it on my microkernel, of doing it like much more sorted than traditional Unix nonsense, and then have some compatibility symlinks for why not. Although I do not like the Haiku implementation the most, because this is, I would not use boot. Right, sure, it might be the boot volume, and there are always technical reasons, right? But for me, this, I would have the system, right? Why boot systems? I mean, for sure there are technical reasons. Maybe they could be banned, maybe they could be renamed. I'm just saying my observations, right? Everything's amazing, but there's always what new people, sure, if you copy BeOS for decades, then it's normal for you, right? But I used it 20 years ago a little bit, BeOS. I boot Haiku OS every 5 years or so to see the progress, and for me as an outsider, a little bit strange. Does it work? Sure, it works. You can make everything work, right? Could it be a little bit prettier? I guess it, I mean, of course it mostly doesn't matter, but if you already have nice new naming, then I would go with systems or so, and not boot system. But again, doesn't matter the most. Do we have, like, okay, doesn't look like we have proc here, or this, we have def, which we have already seen. Like even null, 0, random, so that is sort of Unix-ish. So Git we don't have. Let's maybe, where's our where's our home directory? Okay, that is boot home. Okay, we have only one. Is it even a multi-user system? I actually don't even know. Is it a single user? Or? I mean, BeOS might have been single user. Not sure if they... Is this a to-do 2021? Personally, I would like to have multi-user accounts being brought forward to Beta 4. Also, very good. Beta 4 release, RISC-V port, multi-user accounts. Ah, right. I could put this on previous video unmatched. Hi5 Sci5 RISC-V port, right? Let's check the comments. While you could stare at this, not saying it should be standard Linux distro plus BeOS think more. Yeah, sure, I got this. Sorry, 10 minutes later. Sure, I got this. I'm just saying alternative kernel has its benefits. But I mean, there probably have been, were there not? I believe there was like an attempt or so of BeOS like Linux. As far as I remember off the top of my head, I guess there was something, but I truly appreciate the, again, monoculture, right? If all the world runs Windows, there's a security vulnerability, everyone is affected. So with Linux market shared servers, I actually really appreciate a completely, mostly from scratch independent implementation for interoperability testing, different security vulnerabilities, like if there's one major Linux thing, not everyone is affected and so on. And like if you're not relying on the upstream kernel, you can do your more modern kernel things your way, right? Remember a story about when CPU toggle was originally created. These didn't disallow from turning off the CPU, freeze the machine, dark mode. Yeah, dark mode only. Terminal probably agree, love the paper feel of. What do you mean paper feel? So you're running black on paper pattern? Remember that POSIX compliant was never BeOS strong point. Certainly wasn't. Yeah, sure. And I said I recently made a video of like, hey, maybe unified this proc def. So although probably there's not a POSIX. There is not a POSIX standard for /this, none for /proc. Not even sure how much /def is in POSIX. Probably not much. But again, we have 2000 Linux solutions, some fresh start and new thinking, and not everything needs to be POSIX compliant. And my microkernel certainly would only be like minimally needed for sane stuff to work or so. So yeah, Git. Let me just copy. I don't want to. Did we network? Okay, it did. So ping doesn't work because it is a normal Qemu user network. I should change the to hook on the bridge say, of the server. Why is my cursor now? Cursor was strange for a moment. Maybe some coordinate is whatever's going on there. So SCP work. All right, I wanted to, what is with their browser? They had their own B positive browser, right? Was it B positive? Was it B positive? Ah, web positive, sorry, B positive. Of course. And that is the thing, I really appreciate different implementations, right? Even for the web browser, like stuff, I'm so disappointed how slow Firefox, like large and slow. It's like, hey, and that is, okay, now I think the tablet, maybe that is some Qemu emulation or USB glitch, but I mean, it's like, look how snappy that is, and that is running over VNC, and that is only gigabit Ethernet, and you still need to upgrade the Office for even faster stuff. And so how does our company? Shameless, save promotion. Yeah, but actually, I mean, yeah, it pays off that we have super simple websites that just freaking don't delay, try our products probably. You know what, maybe I should port them. We have a truly universal version. Maybe I should release a commercial version for Haiku. I guess, probably. Making note. Student intern project for next month. Haiku port. Anyway, so let me quickly copy the, how long do we, 23 minutes, that's not, let me quickly copy some stuff because I don't want to expose some ports and stuff, and then see you back in a minute for trying to compile some T2 homebrew. Of course, our tiny little Linux and more distribution. Yeah, Trup. Exit says huge Haiku market share. That is true, however, we have our own UI stuff and runtime. So actually porting that would be a relatively minor effort. And the chicken egg problem is like, why not? And getting some free PR and maybe certainly more PR because it's boring Office software. So it's actually difficult to get any PR coverage between Apple and nothing. And so yeah, why not have some fun, entertain some student, improve all our stuff, find some bugs, and make our software even more universal. Why not? So I copied this here. What I copied, what I SCP'd is a dump of the, unfortunately not the very, very latest version, probably. Which one did I even copy now? Let's see, that is either from macOS or OpenBSD, something of that sort, XFT. I also named it strangely for some reason. Why did I get so many messages here? So yeah, I have no idea how this Haiku system will react to trying to run our full-blown T2 stuff. So the tar stuff is actually, I have to say, I tarred there up some Qemu shit. Interesting. That is, of course, suboptimal and wasting stuff. So yeah, what is now so slow after being so fast? Kernel threads and CPU usage. I mean, we're running on IDE. That's certainly not ideal. I should test how much actually Haiku OS. Haiku OS. I do have VirtIO drivers. I don't think I have no graphic or whatever. Full version using EFI. Does it work or not? Okay, this extraction is not the fastest. I wonder, let's check if that is only terminal scrolling. Actually, where's my history? Why is there no... Hello? Okay, I mean, maybe that is a... Well, this is now a little, sucks a little bit. Not sure what's up with this VNC glitchiness here. Well, I believe so. This is probably some kind of real Haiku bug, unfortunately. Not really sure. No, it recovered. Not really sure what's going on here. I mean, okay. What was the last one? Dragonfly BSD was a little bit. I mean, I believe on the other. You know what? The Firefox bug. maybe it is over-reporting events or something. Maybe it has a, maybe that is some Qemu, maybe I configured it wrong. Also I would hope not, but maybe that was in the previous videos not a Firefox bug, but like getting a USB tablet and then a mouse event and then positioning absolute and then relative a pixel or some nonsense like that. I mean, there can always be bugs like that, right? So let's see if that is file system or terminal scrolling, although I mean the graphic performance should be amazing. By the way, it really annoys me that people advertise Alacrity and other like fastest terminals. Like, yeah, it's not so fast. I believe it was this was way snappier on the BSDs, I believe. But I really wonder that not more terminals implement asynchronous scrolling. Many, or like most, probably 99%, scroll everything synchronously via rendering. I mean, I believe one YouTuber made some scrolling Windows terminal, like Windows Instant Terminal, whatever, super terminal rendering thing, where he piped like gigabytes and parsed terminal escape code, parsed that in seconds. And like, I was already wondering, like always, even the Linux frame buffer, like you scroll something, especially I often, with all the ports, MIPS, PowerPC, Spark, I often worked on a terminal, virtual terminal console frame buffer thing, because I don't really need more, right? Find, ls, cd, nvi, git commit and stuff. And like how can this be so slow? This is ridiculous. And I always, like, it always annoyed me already for decades that the Linux frame buffer scrolling is synchronous, right? Like, why not render this asynchronous? I mean, yes, difficult and C and kernel stuff. Like, how can this be so slow? Like, hey, Haiku developers, you want to investigate. I mean, it's 100% on some kernel there. Like, how can this be seriously too slow? Something is really not so... I mean, that is surprising, right? Everything, its installation was instant, and, okay, now, maybe it's indexing all this stuff in some desktop database, like macOS or so. You never know, could be. So let's see what happens. I don't have the highest hopes for today, but let's see. Because it's just so much further away, but we probably... can we? Oh no, this is dragging this. Can we not... Does it really only support resizing on the other? Maybe it does. By the way, does it allow on-the-fly resolution change? Just for the kicks and giggles, wherever that would be. Maybe apps in... Obviously, when you use it for an hour or longer, then you memorize better. Where are the menus? Yeah, the biggest criticism so far would be this menu stuff is a little bit... I found this already a decade ago, but somehow there even was that. I probably navigate this wrong. Oh wait, here is also... Okay, here, so probably best use it there. Okay, here's desktop. Okay, that is desktop. That is why this is different. One is desktop, one is the Haiku system. Do they have some settings? Where would be the... Maybe it's not an application, probably. Where would be the someone? And welcome everyone. Scroll back buffer. No, but it was also slow without scrolling, so it must be the file system I/O. Maybe with a multi... I mean, I always want microkernel, right? Maybe it's some microkernel. I don't know in which sub-process stuff their stuff runs. Maybe it could be. Where could be... Okay, classic me, wasting my time. I hear sound preferences. Okay, right, because this is sound. This is network, right? So their network drive is definite. This is also how I would do this in my kernel or microkernel, by the way. So that is process controller. So, by the way, we have here. So do we have? By the way, no, it was actually in the kernel, right? Because if this would be microkernel, it should have been some. Here's some mount server. It should have been some file system daemon, but I don't. I mean, in this list, I mean, it probably shows most things. I wonder how many other process. No, where's my focus? Where's my? I mean, if these are all real processes, then okay, there are some servers, launch debug more net. So net might be user space thing. Media app server. Okay, there might be some input server potentially. I mean, even in, okay, not all. I don't know, I would guess the raw USB drivers still run in kernel, and then maybe only some input, like input handling, runs in the input server. Where even was it? Ah, here, input server. Okay, wherever. What else do we have here? Okay, mount settings. Where would you hide? Here's some stuff. I mean, normally I would expect this on the desktop maybe, but it's not here. Actually, should we? Otherwise, I would expect this in some configuration program. I mean, maybe it is somehow more accessible, but yes, desktop preferences. Okay, that is just desktop. That is not desktop. Where did I click that? Here, shut down, powerful start. Applications, we had been there, right? Is there some kind? Here's devices. Would this be in device? Ah, maybe it's in devices. Okay, these are quite some raw devices. Does it have? Okay, display controller doesn't do much here. Okay, that is in general not much. That looks like some, like AKA SysFS. Like Explorer, not really, didn't really look that sophisticated. Where have I been? Right, applications. Oh, yes, applications. Ah, yes, preferences. How did I overlook the preferences? Here it must be, isn't it? Keyboard, background, appearance, local media, prints, display email, file types, input, local media, screen. Here is screen. Ah, we found it. Amazing. Can we? Okay, we can have something else. Like, what would make more sense for YouTube? Do we have 10? We have that. Does it do something? I have no idea. Keep. We probably, so that is a VNC viewer limitation, right? Of at least this one. Hey, that even worked. Amazing. Then we can use this one. Also, actually, wait a second, then you see this clipped. Ah, darn. Okay, that was only the medium. Okay, anyway, we wanted to build software. So yeah, there you have it. I mean, this is, after you know where the preferences are, will we find also, oh, right, this is clipped now. Yeah, should be in view. I mean, okay, wait a second, I can compensate for that. I can, of course, nothing like changing the OBS, the futures, no. Yeah, that's basically, should we even try, maybe we should split, how long is it? All right, I restarted the live stream. So yeah, preferences. Okay, preferences. I mean, once you know where it is, okay, preferences somehow, I'm not really sure why I overlooked this there, but after you found it once, you are of course smarter. Now you know where it is. And I only would expect it also here on the background, to be honest. That is maybe where in some versions of Windows you found it. Can you navigate from here? But yeah, that is this minor nitpicking. Not all operating systems have it there. Should we even try to build something? We probably, okay. Let's try one small thing and then maybe split the stream. Okay, let's not make something fancy. By the way, which is this committed with Bootstrap? Where do I have? Okay, it's a slightly older copy from the other day. Let's try to build something. I should have here Lua somewhere, I believe. Find name. Let's see how compatible the find is. Let's find Lua bash. Okay, so that's a little bit nicer than the BSD one. The BSD ones always complain that they want the directories where to start first here, right? This always annoys me. Oops. I actually wanted to... Okay, Alt. So this does not work with Alt, like jumping whole words. It works with Control, okay. For whatever reasons. There might be one. And what else did I want to try? By the way, which do we have? GCC? Okay, we have GCC. Do we have Clang? We don't have Clang. Okay, CC is probably GCC, right? Okay, 11.2, that is super recent. Not the latest, but pretty new. And how did you build this in here? Did that work? Okay, we need Haiku, fair enough. First time I built ours because we have our own super simple build system here. That probably should maybe like Linux. Alright, we don't have SVN now. Okay, let's Linux to Haiku make. That may or may not work. Alright, we also want J32 or so. No such file directory in dynamic lookup of, where is it even? Cannot find dynamic lookup. Dynamic. I don't even remember that. The grep is colorized by default. That is not a GNU default. What grep was it? Okay, it's GNU grep, but then they must have changed the default, I believe. By I mean they could have just RC local. Yeah, they have some sophisticated RC local stuff. Oops. Grep. Okay, it's not there, but like color. True color term, true color. I don't know. Maybe color term does it. I don't know. Some config of something will do that probably. Where is this? Dynamic undefined. Which even is that in? Okay, we don't have NVI. Yeah, we have Nano. That is of course a controversial choice given how popular VI is. How do even there? Save, no. Do they have anything else? Style, Emacs. It's Emacs, probably not. I mean, they certainly have some native text editing of ST terminal. Probably not. Or this style edit. Or maybe this style edit, probably. Yeah, style edit. I mean, overall, I really appreciate. Some people would say, nah, not so many features, but I really, with all the BSDs, probably Haiku I have least to criticize. It's overall really rounded, amazing system. Some really minor stuff, and I really appreciate the small applications. And even on macOS, you still have text edit, right? And I really like small is beautiful, and don't. I mean, even the browser is amazing, and I really appreciate otherwise, we have only Chromium mostly now, except Firefox with a minuscule market share, and just some other browser. I mean, Firefox is even not the most performance and humongous code base. So I also really appreciate. Some people hate on B positive. Is it B? Web positive? I read so much negative stuff over the years, and when I read news and look into the comments, it's like, yeah, it doesn't render this and that. It's like, sure, that is somewhat annoying, but given how controversial and memory hungry and stuff, sure, the modern web is memory resource and CPU hungry. Web positive. Did I say web positive? And I nonetheless appreciate a minimal version. It may, like, even if it renders, sure, it will not render every crazy web stuff, but hey, okay, it flickers a little bit shitty there. This might be VNC and with another graphic driver, maybe whatever. Also, like, probably use an ad blocker. How does it render? YouTube.com. Before you continue, yes, my dear Google, take all my. I mean, hey, it freaking renders YouTube. It doesn't have here browser can't play the video. Maybe it can't play none of the videos, maybe. Okay, doesn't have some media codec. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, some video codecs would be nice. I mean, it flickers a little bit. That's a little bit, yeah, epilepsy warning, right? Sorry. I selected this. Sorry, that was my fault. I mean, it scrolls snappy. Yes, it flickers a little bit shitty. Maybe with some other video stuff it would be better. Do they have, like, what is usually F12 or show view source code? Probably somewhere. Page source, what was it? Something U. Sure, it's not some super sophisticated web debugging stuff, but I mean, hey, this scrolling is nice. I mean, it's snappy, and this is fully unisolated, right? Try to do this with a modern GNOME desktop, and certainly it will not be as snappy, at least as in Qemu without GPU and stuff. I find this amazing. Yeah, I'm still continue to come away most impressed with Haiku. Pretty amazing. If you've not tried it yet, probably go try it. Maybe donate there, because similar to us, they are underfunded. So if you find it amazing and have some dollars to spare after you just donated in Patreon to us, and YouTube membership and whatnot, then it's like, yeah, the Linux Foundation sits with 190 million, and all they do is 3% Linux, and Haiku, one of the arguable most advanced desktop operating systems, open source desktop operating systems in 2023, sits there with $9,954 a year. Anyway, super amazing stuff. Let's make another live stream of trying to compile something. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Have a good day and night, and I hope to see you soon for all the next fun stuff to come.